Yeah, the assemblies were pretty cool. They were okay. I think my only mistake was I never watched my own video. I recorded myself. I did a voice recording, but I didn't go back and watch it back then. So that was my fault. I didn't realize that I did have too much content because in my head I had just the right amount. For one, I've brought a quote now, so I'm going to wear a suit. Yeah. And also, number two, I've realized how important it is to pace myself, honestly, because I think, it doesn't matter if what you have to say is so amazing, but if the public can't hear you or can't follow you, and again, you have to follow. You are delivering a speech to the public. It is for the public. It is not for yourself. I can follow my train of thought. Maybe one of the judges can follow my train of thought, but the public cannot. So my speech has to be tailored to the public, not for myself. Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. Yeah, how's Ramadan been? How's last Ramadan? How was the Ramadan before that though? You can't rate a Ramadan below 100, so I'll say this Ramadan and the last one were hundreds. But I think everybody would agree that the ones before that were 100s and 120s or 150s. We've missed something. We've missed the amals at mosque. We missed the hugs at Eids. We've missed, the dua, the munajat of Imam Ali on the 21st night. Having it at mosque, it's just a different beast. It just inspires your soul to grow, to become better. And we've missed that. Social interaction. Social interaction is our currency. You think this is a currency for us? This is nothing. Learn about using your social cues. Learn about using your social self. And you'll know what real wealth is. Because since we were babies, we learn to talk, we learn to interact. We learn a little goo goo gaga will get us a laugh. We learn that crying will get us food. We're always interacting. Ashik is smiling at me right now. He's interacting with me. I'm interacting with all of you. Because over millions of years, humans have evolved. We've grown together. We've learned together. We've lived together. And we've loved together. And then in one fell swoop, before we know it, our schools are closed, colleges are closed, work is closed, and hospitals are filling up. It was never a good situation for anybody. In my case, what I used to do during Ramadan is, I have my iftar, I run straight down to my aunt's house. I have the best chocolate mousse. My aunt makes amazing chocolate mousse. I'm promising it's better than yours. It's amazing. It's honestly world class. And I would go downstairs, play with my niece and nephew, have 2, maybe 3 glasses of chocolate mousse, and I'm happy. And I'm sure the feelings is reciprocated as well. Because I'm sure if you didn't have anybody to feed your food to, you wouldn't be as happy as you are. Because social interaction is what makes us. It is us, it is humans. That it is such a critical part of us. And here's what happens, is sometimes we fall into this cycle, this really vicious cycle, is that we won't want to interact with people, and that will spoil our mental health. And then what happens is, because we've got bad mental health, we won't want to interact with people again. So now we exclude COVID. COVID is another beast on its own. But even without that, now you're bringing no social interaction and bad mental health altogether. So it becomes such a vicious cycle. And again, to illustrate another point about how critical social interaction is VR therapy. It's just something I was literally researching on the desk. Is what therapists are doing these days is, there's some people who hear voices in their head that, oh, you're useless, or, oh, go kill yourself. What therapists are doing these days is, they'll make the patient create an avatar. And then the patient will wear a VR headset. What the therapist will then do is that she will go and act like the avatar, and she will have a conversation. Now me as a patient, I'm now conversing with the voices directly, I'm interacting with them. And those interactions are actually proven to be a critical success factor in reducing these voices. It's beautiful. But more than that, and I think, because we are Shias, and I think we should always look towards our Ahlul Bayt. Why did Imam Hussein bring so many women with him at Karbala? Why did Imam Hussein bring so many women at Karbala? You could argue, yes, to spread the message, to tell the message. I think I could make the argument that it was to console Rabab. Because when Imam Hussein picks up his son from the burning sand and lifts him up, and La'natullah fires an arrow into the neck of Hazrat Ali Asghar, and Hazrat Ali Asghar flaps his hands like a bird, who would be there to console Rabab? Who would be there to console Rabab, but not all the other BBs? That's how important human interaction is. Which leads me nicely on to my first point. How do we cope with our situation? How do we cope with COVID? How do we cope with an enforced sense of lack of social interaction? Well, number one is, we can still do it. We can still have our masks to talk with people. But also, we've got Zoom. Development society, when we used to continued with our meetings to get our work done, but we talked to people. At every week, we would have meetings, we'd talk with people. And that really helped us, because we were able to check up on each other. We were able to get stuff done. But number two, and very simple, run. It's 3 letters. It's so easy. But it's something so critical. I started running a few months back. It was just, I watched a YouTube video about how running helps develop your ideas, how running helps spur your brain on. So I started running. And here's what I'll tell you. It's been amazing. Running makes me happy. Running makes me happy. How does it make me happy? I don't know. I honestly don't know, and I haven't looked into it yet, because I don't want to. I don't want to eliminate the magic out of it. When you run, you get so tired that you can't think about all your other problems at that time. Your problems take a backseat. All you focus about is the breeze on the beach. The kids running around on the beach. And it's the most beautiful thing in the world. Which now brings me to my final point. Plug into the power of prayer. There's one beautiful dua. نادي عليا مظهر الأجاهب تجهد وبنلك في النوائب كل هم وغم سينجلي بزامتك يا الله بنبوتك يا نبي يا محمد بولايتك يا علي يا علي يا علي قال لي, and he will take care of all your worries. Something I literally just used a few minutes ago. Our connection to our Ahlul Bayt, our connection to God helps us, whether we like it or not. May, inshallah, we can take these practices and focus on better mental health. And inshallah, COVID goes away soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I like the way you say that you missed the social gathering during the Amal. What can we do to enhance that in future? If we continue having the Amals not being there during Amals, what else can we do just to keep our mental health alive?
Right, so like I mentioned, we've got, it has to be now, at Jamaat level, we need to start encouraging exercise. And I think 3Cs have done a fantastic job on that. I don't know if that'll get me extra points or not. But 3Cs had done a fantastic job on that. You've got Fikr Afia, does a brilliant job of working on mental health. They have the networks. If you need somebody to talk to, they will give you somebody to talk to. We need to, basically, I think the channels are there. The ideas are there, the answers are there. At Jamaat level now, we just need to encourage, we just need to point people to those directions.
So what are you going to do about it?
What am I going to do about it? Interesting. It gives me the chance to promote my Instagram page again. So I make videos on Instagram about mental health and what affects you and how you can get better at it. And like I had a talk last week about meditation, which I think is one of the most critical things. I will soon have a talk on running as well and how it helps mental health. But for myself, I can tell you, I've been happy since running. So if you need a one-stop answer to, okay, how can I improve my mental health while not seeing people? Run.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about mental health in the community, right? You're talking about elders, you're talking about, youngsters as well. When you talk about Instagram, it could be your age group that is going to Instagram. But we also have mental health issues with elders. What are you going to do about it to impact elders in mental health?
So I'll be joining 3C's committee soon, and then we'll work on that for sure.
Saqlain, I appreciated your speed today. I think your speed was pretty good. Well done. My question to you is the challenges that the elderly are facing. See, for us, we have our Zoom meetings, we have our WhatsApp videos and our social media, so many other ways of interacting. But what do you think can help the elderly cope with not having social interaction? Because they were the ones who used to enjoy the most. The month of Ramadan would be filled to, the mosque would be filled to the capacity with the elderly. How do you recommend dealing with their mental health or explaining it to them? How do they go about it?
So firstly, I'd like to challenge your question. I don't think elders are as off social media as you would think. My dad uses more WhatsApp than I do. And I think that's the case for most of us here. You could be sitting somewhere in your room and you'll hear it from your parents' room. Your dad is watching a video loud on WhatsApp. And he does it more than me, 100 times more than me. So firstly that, but also I'm pretty sure I'd heard a lecture speech last week where one of the ladies had spoken about how their mom or their grandma had actually started taking interest in now getting on Zoom, wearing hijab, getting on it and doing the Quran Khani. Rather than, or while if it would be the case that she had to come all the way here, sometimes you just pass it off. So now I'll challenge a question. Our elders are very smart, honestly. But also, there is a portion, yes, which is not. Now, how do we work with that? Well, that now falls into the responsibility of each specific family. As a family now, you need to go and see, because at Jamaat level, to go to now do programs for that very niche group, it's very difficult. But now as a family, if I decide, okay, look, we are already living in the same household. Now we can still do stuff. Okay, yes, now it's still limited. But now as a family, you go and decide, no, we'll go to Zanzibar, we'll all wear masks, we'll go on a flight, and we'll get back so safely, all that stuff. You can still do that. That's not out of the question. Corona hasn't stopped us from interacting as a family. That same household can still interact with each other.
Thank you, Saqlain.
Thank you.
Thank you, Saqlain.